excited to have everyone here tonight, and we're happy to share the information with you. And my goal for you tonight is just to grasp the concept of what we're doing. It is not a convincing conversation. This is simply an invitation to look at an option that can work or can may not work for you. I don't know where you are in your life. But I know for a fact that if you are in the space where you're open, you're looking for a new opportunity, you're looking for something to do, you're looking to do something part time, you're looking for something that may not necessarily be super traditional, and you're open to that opportunity. And I think that this could be something that could very well resonate with you. And I hope that it does, as it has with myself and so many other people on the call. And because it could do so many great things for you. And one of the best things about the information I'm going to share with you is that you can do it part time and you don't have to give up what you're doing right now. And that's a really, really big deal. You can build this, on 30 minutes a day, which is how I got started, or an hour a day, or 2 hours a day, or 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week, whatever you're comfortable with. We can create a plan that'll work for you in your free time for you to have success here. The system's already in place. I'm going to share with you exactly how it works. But before I do that, I just briefly want to share with you my story of how I got involved so we get to know each other a little bit. Like the time I mentioned, my name is Leon Kalikman. I'm 47 years old. I'm a traditional business owner. I've owned and operated a kitchen design outlet for the past 17 years in Midtown Manhattan. I really loved that business. I was super excited about becoming a business owner. But in 2008, I realized that not everything goes as smoothly as you predict it to go. And I went through what so many other business owners went through in 2020 during COVID, which is 100% of uncertainty. And not knowing what's going to happen with your business in 3, 6, 12 months is really, really terrifying when every bill is still due at the end of the month. So what I realized is just to look for other ways. And even though 2009, 2010, the economy started to come back and my business started to revamp and I had to rebuild all of those things, I was already doing other things. And in the summer of 2013, I was introduced to ACN through a really close friend of my family. And she said, I want you to look at something. And I said, there's no way, no how. I don't have any time to look at anything. I'm 100% busy. I barely have any time for myself. And the question that this individual had asked me, you got a chance to meet this person, by the way, shortly, is if you continue to do what you're doing, will you have more or less time for your life, to live the life that you want to live? And no one really has ever asked me that question before, and I couldn't understand it really at first, but then it just made a lot of sense. If I do have more customers, and guys, 2013 summer when I saw ACM for the first time, I was revamping my kitchen business. I was doing consulting. I was doing branding. So that's three businesses, and I had two startups. So I was completely time broke. If you know people that are busy being broke, that was me. Except I had money. I was time broke. That was my problem. And What I realized that the more customers I'm going to have from any of these businesses, that's just going to continue to eat away at the time and the life that I want to live. So I didn't own the businesses owned me. And I figured, if I was going to do something, let's see if this really makes sense. So even though I was negative and skeptical about the information, I saw it made sense. She was already having success with the company. She was already doing well. And I just couldn't pass up. So I got started around 30 minutes a day because that's all I could squeeze out. And I realized that there was so much support here and the system was already in place. I didn't have to recreate the wheel. Everything was already here for me, as you will see in a minute, because I'm going to share this with you guys. And I fell in love with the opportunity. I fell in love with the fact that I could become better here, not just better entrepreneur, not just a better, not just better at making money, understanding residual and leverage and all these different success principles, but I could also become better as a person. I met my wife in this business. We started doing this together. It was truly one of the most remarkable opportunities I've ever walked into, and not just because of the money situation and the monetary gains, but because of what it allowed me to become and who it allowed me to become, and what it allowed me to see that I couldn't before, even with owning three businesses and two startups. So again, like I said, my goal for tonight is just to share the concept with you so you understand what it means and what we do here. You don't have to get everything, but as long as you get the concept, I think you're going to see why we get excited about something like this after almost 12 years of doing this. And it's never been better, guys. Absolutely never better. So I'll share my screen with you one more time. And I'm going to play a quick 5-hour video. Just kidding. It's only 5 minutes. Um, but hopefully you guys laughed at my silly joke. But if you didn't, that's okay too. Maybe next time. But this video is about a service that our company offers. And you can offer that service. You can generate revenue with the service. And this is one of the most incredible things that has happened to ACN probably in the whole history of the company. And I believe that this is going to be the service that everyone is going to love. They're going to fall in love with the service. And because it's so revolutionary, we just got to get it out. We just got to get the word out and let people understand how powerful this could be. So check this out, you guys. Sharing the video and pressing play.
Hi, I'm Phil Chrysler, President and CEO of Impact Health Sharing. Healthcare sharing began in churches. You were asked to contribute to help Bob and Sue with their ailment. People passed the hat and you contributed what you could to help your fellow member in need. Then, fast forward, you saw great things occurring in the Amish and Mennonite communities doing exactly the same thing. Then it got a little more formalized in the 80s with some religious-based organizations, and then the Affordable Care Act came along. That's really what propelled healthcare sharing to its modern-day growth. You remember, the individual mandate penalized you with a tax if you didn't have health insurance. But if you were a member of certain healthcare sharing organizations, you didn't have to pay that. Now we know the individual mandate has, of course, been reduced to zero. But in the meantime, healthcare sharing grew over 1,000% in the last decade alone. Why? Because it's an alternative to the high cost of insurance. Typically, you'll pay 30 to 50% less. Some reasons why? We're not for profit. So we have no profit motives that typically cause conflict between members, providers, shareholders, and the executive team. None of that exists with healthcare sharing and certainly with Impact. You can stop overpaying, my friends. Here's an important statistic to understand why. Department of Health and Human Services says about 5% of the population account for nearly half of the healthcare spending that occurs in this country. Majority are healthy. They're overpaying, though, for the non-healthy. Insurance has become really no longer affordable. 80% of U.S. adults rate lowering their healthcare costs as their top concern. So why Impact? Well, we're rooted in the Love Thy Neighbor approach, which allows us to welcome all races, all religions, all colors, all creeds. We were the very first healthcare sharing entity to launch this patented technology platform that really provides 100% transparency. This had never been done before in healthcare sharing, certainly not in health insurance. We have member-owned accounts. That way the money stays in your account. We have no network. You get to see any doctor you want. Again, providing full transparency on how all the money moves is something we're really, really proud of. And of course, you have no open enrollment restrictions. Membership begins the first of every month. You just got to finish that application by the last day of the previous month. We also have great pricing and programs for individuals, for families, for seniors, and for groups. And remember, friends, it's a comprehensive program for your health. So we have preventative services, maternity, accident, illness, and of course, injuries. You have access to telemedicine and an industry-leading prescription drug pricing program. Here is a quick video that highlights the opportunity for all of us to be a disruptor in the industry. Enjoy.
Healthcare spending made up 5% of total U.S. GDP in 1960. In 2020, spending hit almost 20%.
National polls show Americans believe healthcare prices and drug costs are among their top pocketbook concerns.
Over the past 20 years, the runaway cost of health insurance has outpaced earnings and inflation, leaving our families with less freedom and less money. Families, small businesses, and individuals alike are struggling to find a way to pay for the healthcare they can't seem to afford. So how are we going to solve this problem? All over the world, technology is changing the way people and society connect and interact. The result? Countless industries are disrupted. But while the rest of the world has changed, insurance and the way we pay for healthcare remains broken and largely the same. What if there was a way we could all pay for healthcare that simply worked better and felt better than insurance? Well, today there is. We are Impact Health Sharing. We are a network of families, individuals, business owners, and small entrepreneurs who want to see the old way of doing things change. We use technology to connect tens of thousands of individuals and families across the nation to simply share and pay each other's medical bills. Old problems can be solved when people come together to leverage their sense of community with technology to control the cost of healthcare.
My friends, what we are simply doing is leveraging your sense of community with technology to control the cost of healthcare. I hope you'll join us. Next, you'll be introduced to our marketing partner, ACN. You will see an exciting suite of essential services that are available to you. Thank you for your time.
I love that video. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. It tells you exactly what's happening and why it's so important right now for everyone to truly understand what's possible, what's lacking, and the fact that we have a way to kind of walk into an industry, disrupt that industry, and create a phenomenal product for people that are dying to have something better, not literally, and maybe even literally. So it's a tremendous opportunity for us. I'm telling you, I don't remember like ever being this excited about a service that ACM put out. And guys, we have a plethora of services which you're about to see. And let me just preface all of this with this is just one of our services. I'm going to talk about the company. I'm going to talk about what's available, how you get paid, and everything that you need to understand of of how this concept works and why it works and why it's worked for such a long time. So um, I think anytime you're looking at a company, one of the most important things that you need to pay attention to and look for is who are these people? What have they done? What's their track record like? So let's take a look at ACN. ACN stands for American Communications Network. They started in the US in January of 1993. This is a 32nd year in business year with a company that's been doing this for quite some time. We're not a startup. We're not trying to see if this is going to work. This has been working for a long time. It's created millionaires. It's created tremendous amount of opportunity for so many people around the world. We specialize in customer acquisition. We have two marketplaces, US and Canada. Millions of customers have been acquired throughout that time, billions of dollars in sales. This is what allowed ACN to become the leading direct seller of telecommunications, energy, and other essential services in this space. So ACN is 100% solvent. What does that mean? That means they don't rent anything, they don't borrow anything, they own everything. This is our headquarters in Concord, North Carolina. And as you can see, this is our building. We don't lease that space, we own that space, we own the property. ACN is a triple, an A+ rating with a Better Business Bureau, the Triple B Bureau. And what that says to you is that it's been vetted not just by the providers that you're going to see on the next page, but by the actual Bureau of Trade. And that means that we're doing everything legit, we're doing everything properly. We have our high morals, and we've become a member of the Direct Selling Association. We were the 22nd fastest growing company in our first 5 years on the Inc. 500 list. 2018 Private Titan, and so on and so forth. So you're looking at a company that's established, that's got a serious reputation, it's not going anywhere, and you'll see why in a minute. The platform that ACN has created and have put together allows us to acquire residential and business customers and offer them essential services. What's an essential service? An essential service is something that you cannot live without. Think of services like wireless, high-speed internet, TV, gas, electricity, healthcare, which is something we're going to talk about at length a little bit later, security and automation, payment processing. Think of when was the last time you used your credit card, right? Travel, ID theft protection. That's, ID theft is prevalent today. It's happening every single. How many robocalls? How many calls do you get a day from people trying to get your information, get your number, right? Now you can prevent all of that. Payroll solutions, HR solutions, digital phone and cloud solutions for small businesses. And these are the companies in this blue strip that have partnered up with ACN and have now truly become partners of ACN. And we can offer services from these providers to everyone that you know. And I'll explain to you how that works. Everyone's heard of AT&T, Spectrum, DirecTV, Dish Network, Vivint, ADP. You have T-Mobile, Verizon. All these companies. We're not just dealing with companies you've never heard of before. We're dealing with premier blue chip companies that have been around for a long, long, long time, and you're probably a customer of one of them. Every time a customer is acquired for any of these services, ACM feeds a hungry child because they truly believe that giving back is the most important thing that they can possibly do outside of giving the opportunity. Okay. Now here's the business model, guys. Very simple. Most service providers use media and internet marketing to attract new customers, to keep customers they already have. ACN simply goes to people just like you and they eliminate the advertising cost. What does that mean? It means there's more choices and value for consumers, and that allows us to create this income generating opportunity for you. How? They utilize relationship marketing. What that means is it costs me nothing to have a conversation with someone who's already using this service. And if they become a customer, ACN and the provider will reward me for acquiring that customer when it costs them $0 for that customer to become a customer. Does that make sense? So if I have a conversation with you and we're friends for 10, 15 years, you're my brother, you're my sister, you're somebody I've known for a long time, I said, hey, listen, if I was able to offer you a better value on the service you're already using, whether it's cell phone or internet or TV or another service, or if you're a small business owner and I come into your store and I buy coffee from you every morning and I say, hey, listen, do you guys pay for credit card processing? Do you have payroll? Do you have all these bills? What if there was a way that I could show you can save some money on that hard cost? And there's a possibility you can save 10, 15, possibly 20% on some of the things you're already doing. There's just better value in that service. Would you give me 10 minutes just to show you how all of this works? And of course, that costs the company nothing. But if that person becomes a customer, now you've acquired the customer for the provider. That's the concept. We acquire the customer, we have a conversation with people we know, we'll leverage our contacts, we leverage the people and the network that we've built to help these people get a better value in the service they're already using. And because we do that, ACM will reward you these providers will reward you for doing that. Now, there's the startup cost of $299. Basically, that's your licensing fee to offer all of the services I just shared with you. You become a licensed broker of all of these services. You get your online store. It's personalized to your name. It's updated daily 24/7. Everything you need and everything your customers need are in that store. All the services through US and Canada, which means you can get customers anywhere in the US and anywhere in Canada wherever those services are available. You get all the training and marketing tools, all the tracking, all the reporting for all of your customers, IBO support, everything you need to run your business, loyalty rewards, savings, gift cards, you name it, ACM will give it to you. Your monthly overhead is $25 a month and your yearly renewal is $49. That's how much it costs me to run my business. You go to any traditional business and ask them what their overhead is. Okay, some people are going to say 2,500. Some people are going to say 25,000. Ours is $25, and that's what allows me to stay in business because I don't have any expenses. And here's what's beautiful, guys. If I acquire a customer for AT&T, all the support, all the service, all the technical service, billing, everything is from AT&T. And if my customer has a problem, he calls AT&T, and AT&T takes care of my customer. So this is a no headache business for you. So all we do is we direct people to the website. We help them become a customer, and ACN takes care of everything else. Here's how we get paid. There's two ways we get paid. There's personal income. As your customers sign up for services, ACN will give you bonus money. What does that mean? So imagine if you're using any of these services, and you're probably paying for some of these services. So if I was to get started today with ACN, and I would sign up for a cell phone service, that's one. I would sign up for ID theft protection. That would be two services. Internet, that will be three services. TV, that will be four services. And travel, that will be, let's say, five services. Or healthcare, that will be five services. So if I got involved with this company, I would want to make money on my bills. So I would become my own customer. So for five services, ACN would give me a $200 bonus. So just because I became my own customer, ACN will give me $200. And then for every three services on top of the five, they're going to give me an additional 200, and it doesn't stop, which means I can go 200, 200, 200, 200, 200, as high as I want to, and it'll reset after your first 30 days, and every calendar month it'll start over. Okay, that's the now money. That's as you acquire customers and build your customer base. Here's where it gets really great, and that's something we call residual income. Residual income means you do something one time, but you get paid over and over and over again. So you acquire the customer one time, they sign up for the service one time, but guess what? Every single month they're going to pay for that bill. And because they became your customer, either through, for AT&T or for T-Mobile or for Spectrum or for any other service or for Impact Healthcare, ACN will pay you anywhere from 3 to 20% of the commissionable revenue of that bill, which is which is just the bill minus taxes and fees, 3 to 20% every single month. Think of how powerful this is. Whatever you're doing right now with work, as a business owner, at a job, is you go and you exchange time for money. You acquire a customer one time. You spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour, whatever it takes. But every single month, you get paid on that customer's bill as long as they stay with that service. How powerful is that? See, that's the residual. The more customers you have, the closer you get to 20%. Okay. Now, that's the first way we get paid. The second way we get paid is something we call distribution and leverage. The success principle states the following: if you don't get paid while you're sleeping, you're never going to be wealthy. You're never going to have time freedom, and you're never going to have financial freedom. And this company allows us to create leverage and distribution. Do you remember in the video they showed Uber, they showed Airbnb, they showed Bitcoin, they showed all these new technology, all these disruptors that came in and disrupted whole industries, right? Now, the reason why these companies are so successful is because they understand distribution. See, there's one service, right, called Uber, but there's so many drivers. Think of Dunkin' Donuts. There's so many Dunkin' Donuts around, but there's only one company, and there's so many different franchisee owners, right? Now, here's what's great. You can do that here. And how do you do that? You can create distribution within the business. In other words, you can build a business within the business by helping other people see the opportunity for themselves. And if they get started with your business, they become a part of your distribution. They become a part of your business, which means it's their context you can now leverage. It's their customers you can now get paid on. And when your team starts to acquire customers, we call that overriding residual income. And you get paid monthly on your team's customers 4% of whatever that commissionable revenue from the bill is. So I just want you to imagine and just play with me for a minute. Let's say that you get started today or tomorrow, and we go to work together. In the next 3 to 6 months, you've acquired 5, 10, maybe 15 personal customers, right? And you start to get these little bonuses, and your residual starts to come in. It's a couple of bucks here, a couple of bucks there. And then you introduce this business to some people that you know. And you say, hey, I know some business owners. They'd love some additional income. They'd love to see something that they can do part-time. And they know other business owners, and those business owners know other business owners. And in the next 3 to 6 months, you have a team of 5, 10, maybe 15 people. Okay. And every single person that gets involved is now a part of your distribution. And you're leveraging their time and their contacts to acquire and build and grow your business. So let's say 10 people get started. You have a team of 10 people, and everyone just puts in an hour a day. That's 10 hours a day. Your business is growing, your business is working, customers are being acquired, revenue is being generated. You're getting your 4% from all the work that you did not do. That's the power of distribution and leverage. That's a success principle: residual income and leverage. And here's what's great: there's earned positions within the company, and the company also pays you overriding customer acquisition bonuses. What does that mean? It means that as your team starts to grow and new customers are acquired, ACN will pay you for building that team. They're not going to pay you for bringing in teammates. They will pay you when your team acquires customers. The only time revenue is shared and revenue is distributed and bonuses distributed is when new customers are acquired, not when people sign up. Okay, that's not the way that it works. So if I join your business and do nothing, no one gets paid. You're just giving ACN charity. Fantastic, but there's no profit there, and we're not excited. So if you understand how this works, when someone gets on board, they need to get customers. An open store and an empty store makes no money. So as you grow through these positions, these bonuses increase, your team starts to grow, your residual income starts to grow, there's incentive trips, there's so many more things that you can leverage. And as your business starts to grow and customers start to come in through that business, there's training and support, there's support, there's online training, everything is in your back office. You get the full package here with our support, with the ACN support. You get access to training anytime, at any point in your life. And what's truly remarkable is that every so often there's going to be a regional event or there's going to be a big national or international event. And there's one coming up in March, and this is where people like yourself, like me, people that are in this business, they get out there, and there's thousands and thousands of us in a, whether it's an arena, whether it's a convention center, we get to learn from the top people in the company. In other words, they give you all of their secrets. They tell you how they did it. They share with you what worked and what hasn't worked. They give you all the things where the company's going to go. The co-founders are there. Your teammates are there. If you hit a position, executive team leader, regional coordinator, regional director, RVP, SVP, if you have any of those positions, you get recognized for your effort, your customers, like everything that you get to see there and experience there is why you realize why you made the decision to get started. Because you get to see all of it on a large screen, on a big picture. You get to talk to people that are just like you. And here's what you're going to get to see: regular, ordinary, everyday people, teachers, truck drivers, CPAs, clerks, store register receptionists at doctors' offices. Okay, regular people hitting these positions, growing their team, and making crazy money part time because they're following the system that ACN has put together for them. They're getting trained, they're learning, and they're becoming better and better and better at understanding this concept. So I hope this concept made sense to you guys. We acquire customers, we connect the customer to the provider through the ACN platform. And because we do that, the provider is going to continue to give us a percent through the ACN platform back to us for acquiring that customer every time that customer pays a bill. And the same thing happens with your team. They get their through 20%, and you're going to get your 4% through 5 generations of building your team and your distribution. So the more your team works, the more they know what they're doing, the better they are, the bigger your business can grow. And here's what's great. At a certain point, if you're doing the right things, if you're coachable, If you can learn the system and understand it, eventually your business will grow without you. I want you to just imagine what that would be like if your business grew without you. What options would you have at that point for your life, for your family, for your friends? What could you do with that? See, 5 years is going to go by anyway. If you don't do anything today, if you don't do anything tomorrow, if you don't do anything in 6 months, I can pretty much bet that you're going to be very, very close to where you are today, 5 years from now. But if you do want something to change, if you decide you believe you deserve more, give this a shot. You can make your money back in 24 hours. I know people on this call that have done it 10 times, 15 times, 20 times on their investment. And I'm telling you, you can do it too. You have the support, you have everything else that you need here. And you have the most amazing people to get you here. Those that invited you, they'll support you, we'll support you, we'll give you everything we can to have you have success.